This is your Weather Extreme video for Sunday, June the 5th. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. A lot of Alabama waking up to some rain this morning, and kind of an unusual pattern with a little bit of a jet streak helping to create some lift that's giving us some morning showers. There's a look at our surface map, and we still have the cold front that is moving across the Mississippi River and will be moving across the southeastern United States today and on Monday. And that will be helping to clear the rain out of here by the latter part of the day on Monday. In the meantime, in the upper atmosphere, we have a combination of a little bit of a low that's cut off over southern Texas, as well as the trough that is moving across the Great Lakes and across the central part of the country, across the Mississippi River Valley. At the surface, temperatures across central Alabama generally in the 70s this morning. The clouds helping to keep temperatures up a little bit. Even Fort Payne's not that much cooler at 68 degrees. The radar map shows that we do have a good deal of showers stretching from the southern tip of Louisiana across the Florida Panhandle and into central Alabama. Watch warning map is a little bit less cluttered today. The dark reds that you see out in the southwestern United States are heat advisories, as are the orange values. The greens are still flood advisories, and over the southeastern U.S., parts of Mississippi and Louisiana are under flash flood watches. And speaking of flash flood watches, there may need to be one for the state of Florida, as they're expecting on the order of 3 to 6 inches of rain over the next 5 days. That coming primarily with the future tropical system that will probably be named Colin. We'll get to that in just a moment. Across the southeastern U.S., most of us in Alabama can expect on the order of 3/4 of an inch to 1 1/4 inches of rain with the storms. And keep in mind that not everybody gets this rain amount. It's the potential, but they are showers after all, and that means not everybody gets wet. Storm Prediction Center, or SPC, is outlooking enhanced risk over the mid-Atlantic states, and that's surrounded by a slight risk that extends from northern New York all the way down to eastern and southeastern Georgia. For day 2, that would be Monday into early Tuesday, we have marginal risks over parts of Ohio and Indiana, and marginal risks with the possible future track of the tropical system over the northern Florida peninsula. Day 3, we have a marginal risk out in the northwestern United States. All right, let's take a look at the tropics, and there's that area of cloudiness and disturbed weather that has moved to shore onto the Yucatan Peninsula. It is expected to move out over the southern Gulf later today or early Monday, and as it does, it's highly likely that it will develop. The future plot of the course of this system is very tightly lumped together, all the various models, the spaghetti plot. Yeah, there's always one, that one goldish one that brings it up to New Orleans, but there's always an outlier somewhere, isn't there? But the others clustered very tightly together, taking it up to a point in the Florida Peninsula north of Tampa and across the state into the vicinity of Jacksonville and then out into the southeast Atlantic, where it's expected to remain offshore. All right, let's look at modeling, and there's our upper air trough today. The trough moving along and nicely across the Great Lakes, but leaving that little low over southern Texas. And the result with a cold front moving through the lower Mississippi River Valley is that we have a good deal of rain extending from the southeastern U.S. up across the eastern third of the country and the eastern part of the Great Lakes into southeast Canada. Monday, the main trough has moved on, but the trough is now kind of digging in and deepening a little bit. So we won't see the results of the cooler and drier air immediately, but certainly the trough is still there. And I think Monday we should be drying out. We still will probably maintain a small chance for showers during the day, the better chance being in the eastern and southeastern parts of the state. And there is also the GFS pointing to what is likely to become Colin as it approaches the western coast of Florida. The European continues to have some small differences, and one of the differences is that it's a little stronger. The GFS a little broader and not quite as deep, but the The European a little tighter and a little deeper with the central pressure, and also the European a little further to the north than what the GFS is. Now, altogether, the two models are very close, so we're not really worried about this a whole lot. The trough really becomes established on Tuesday as we see some impulses moving into the base of that trough, helping to establish it, and by Tuesday we should be completely dry with a northerly wind as a result of high pressure over the central plains in the central U.S., and we should really begin to see some drying by then. And as you can see, the GFS indicating that the tropical system, whatever it is, will be out off the Carolina coastline. And again, the European a little bit stronger, but also keeping it just offshore. All right, we get out to Wednesday, and the trough's still there, so Wednesday morning is going to feel very nice. We're going to get down into the lower 60s. That means some of those cooler spots could very well get into the upper 50s, and we'll have lower humidity, so it's going to feel very nice. Thursday, the trough is beginning to move slightly, jog slightly to the east, as the ridge becomes a more prevailing element for us. And by Friday, we see that the ridge has become well established in the central U.S., and that is becoming the prevailing feature for our weather pattern. The high is settling in over the southeastern U.S., so I think we stay dry. The ridge becomes really the prevailing factor on Saturday, and I think we'll be dry on Saturday. Don't think there's going to be quite enough moisture return just yet, but by Sunday, you can see the ridge over us, but I think also at the surface we'll see some isolated showers, a possibility in the heat of the afternoon on Sunday, but the first half of the weekend dry. Looking out into Voodoo Country, and we do see the ridge is there on Tuesday, the 14th, and the ridge is still there on Thursday, the 16th. And the ridge is not there on the 18th, as we have another one of those fairly strong troughs, not as strong as the one we're seeing right now, but certainly likely to produce at least a short period of some cool weather. And then by the time we get out to the 20th of June, the overall pattern is very flat, and that certainly looks rather warm for much of the U.S. Well, that'll do it for the Weather Xtreme video this morning. James Spann should be back in the saddle with the next edition first thing on Monday morning. In the meantime, check back on the blog for later updates on Alabama's weather and also what's going on in the tropics. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Have a great day and Godspeed.